Hey guys, here we are in Orangeville. We're on James Street, previously known as Caledonia Drive.
And this is Rockstar investing coach Matt James. It's called James Street because Matt owns 50% of the homes on this street. In this video, we're going to show you how he did it. Okay, Matt, what's the story with this sign?
So this is our 7th property on this road. I had to go down to Lowe's, pick up some more kitchen cabinets one day with the truck. The sign was in the back of my truck. I unloaded it, left it here. When I came back, the contractors wanted to play a joke on me, put the sign up in the ground and draw the James Street on it.
Yeah. So these guys have worked with you on a bunch of different projects. On all these houses.
Yeah, and like I said, they all know them really well, and they felt like messing with me that day.
Yeah. Cool. So let's go tour and see each house. Okay, first one.
First one we ever bought was 44 Caledonia. My wife and I, we lived upstairs. We renovated the basement, got tenants in there, and then once the value was enough, we could actually pull some equity out and go and purchase another property down the road. And we literally picked up our furniture and walked down the road. The neighbors thought we were absolutely crazy, but you gotta do what you gotta do.
Wow. So you house hacked, added a unit, brought up the value, refinanced the home, bought the house next door.
And then tried to do it, down the road,
Okay, so we're at house number 2 and I think 3 beside it, right?
Yeah.
So what's the story here?
So we were able to, after finishing the basement and the other property, pull out some equity. We bought 26 here. We moved in the upstairs, my wife and I. It took us a little bit longer to renovate the basement this time. We were a little bit out of money at that point. So it took us a little bit longer. We renovated the basement. We actually moved from the upper unit into the lower unit. And then that made us able to rent out the upper unit for a higher rent, which then made us be able to move on to the next property a bit faster.
Okay, and the next property is
the next
this
property
one,
was
here.
right next door. So this one we didn't actually move into. We were just able to purchase using, again, the equity out of this one and rent it out upper and lower. Again, we did do the basement renovation. It makes great cash flow still.
Okay, we're a few houses down and we're now at numbers 4 and 5, right?
4 and 5, yeah. So each of them are 2 legal duplexes. So you can kind of almost look at it as a quadplex.
And you added the units in these as well?
Yeah. All these were all single family homes, and now half the road are legal duplexes.
And so this is the same type of house that you had down there, right?
Yeah, identical floor plans, same carports, same kitchen, same set of stairs, everything. Everything is the same.
So did you do the conversions the exact same way?
Pretty much, yeah.
Same finishings?
Some of the finishes change for what's available and what's not, but it's the same kitchens, same bathrooms, same flooring, same trim, same doors.
And did the renovation costs come in about the same for all these?
With inflation, they did increase a little bit, but I mean, and then you can add on maybe 10 or 15% for unforeseen stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, generally they're all in line with where they should be, figuring inflation into it as well.
Yeah, so you're able to be pretty accurate with
pretty
your numbers.
accurate with it, yeah, exactly. And you can figure out if it's going to be profitable or not at the end of the day.
Yeah, cool. At what point did you realize that, holy crap, I'm buying all the homes on the street?
It was when I started looking around at other communities. Orangeville has really strong rent versus a lower purchase price. So you can actually pick it up for one of these houses, let's say for example, for $100,000 less than Brampton, which is the nearest major city, but the rents are actually probably 30% higher here. So it just made sense. It increases your cash flow. It's easier to financially access as well too with a lower purchase price. So once we kind of found that it was like that, we just jumped on it and tried to focus our portfolio right here.
Yeah, plus management is a breeze. You're just walking down the road for everything.
Yeah, with living 5 to 10 minutes away, it makes things really, really easy if there's any tenant problems.
Yeah, well then also like while you were converting all these homes, you still lived on this street.
We did, yeah, because we just moved from house to house, all the way down, up and down a few times, from the upper unit to the lower unit, down the road, up the road. So yeah, I mean, you have all your tools here, you're here, it's easy to fix things if there's any mechanical problems or tenant locks themselves out or anything like that. It really streamlines that process.
Were you doing some of the work yourself or hiring
At first, yes. I did probably too much. I was working my day job from 9 to 5, and then I'd work from probably 5 p.m. to 11 p.m. when I'd come home from work. But then as the portfolio grew more and more, we hired out, and then that's when we found our contractors that we now love. And they do 99% of everything, I would say now. I am trying to be as hands-off as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's keep going. Okay, so we're at houses 5, 6 now.
Yep.
And did you ever live in these two?
We never lived in these two. We basically, for these ones, just recycled some equity out of the other houses. We were able to purchase these two, put the basement apartments in them, and then refinance them again straight away.
And you were doing it like one at a time?
One at a time. Yeah, one at a time, but where things made sense to be done at the same time, like chiseling up concrete and stuff like that, we did it at the same time just to kind of streamline the process for the contractors. But yeah, mostly one at a time.
And how are you able to keep acquiring these properties all on the same street and be the winning offer on them?
It's just really about knowing your market. I mean, you have to have a good lender that's willing to work with you, just a good crew all around. But it's just really about making sure that you know your market, know your numbers, and making sure that you can follow through with what you want to do.
Yeah, were you approaching your neighbors to let them know you're interested in buying their house?
Not purposefully. They all kind of accidentally came to me and said, I might be leaving in a year. Would you be interested in acquiring this?
Yeah.
And then at that point, you know exactly, for the most part, what it looks like on the inside. So it really takes the guesswork out of what needs to be done.
Okay. Did they list the properties on the market at
No,
all?
a lot of them were off market. Some of them we did buy on market and used an agent to do so at the time before I was an agent. But yeah, most I would say.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So word just got out that you're starting to buy all the houses on the street?
The funny thing is the first two we owned were on either sides of the road. So the neighbors thought I was kind of crazy. I'd be walking lawnmowers and snow blowers and ladders all up and down the road. And people kind of caught on to what is this guy doing? And
That's awesome.
Maybe he owns a couple of them around here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it just came up to you.
And yeah, then it just kind of organically grew from there.
Do you think you got any discounts from buying it off market versus if they had listed it?
Probably, yeah, probably a little bit, I would say, yeah. But it's still fair to what the market value probably would have been, because a lot of them, they were all built in 1967, so a lot of them were in a little bit of disrepair. So yeah, a little bit of a discount, but probably fair to what their actual use was at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, let's keep going. Okay, we're at house number 7 of the 14 homes that are on the street. And what's the story with this one, Matt?
The final story with this one is we were in a bidding war on another property down the road. We ended up losing out on that one. The numbers just didn't work for where it ended up in the process. So I was sitting at home, got a phone call on this one from the owner, and he said he was looking to sell. He heard from that real estate agent that we were looking to buy more in the area, and came, looked at it, and bought this one on a handshake, really.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
There was probably more than an
it was an actual offer. It was all off market again.
Wow.
But that's how we came to this one. This one we never really envisioned ever doing anything with. It was the roughest of all the other ones.
Yeah.
So it was kind of a surprise even to us.
Yeah, and big surprise on this one, Matt's adding a second unit and converting this one to another duplex, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This one we bought from that person. He had told us that it was illegal non-conforming house, and then we changed it to a legal duplex from there.
Yeah, awesome. So stay tuned for the video we're going to do on this house specifically, where we're showing the whole process that Matt is taking to convert this home. It's an awesome property, and just another addition to James Street.
James Street.
James Street. Cool. So what year did you buy the first house on the street, which was also your first house, and how old were you?
Good question. First house, I guess would have been probably January 2018. I think I would have been 25,
Okay.
26 at the time. We bought that one. We were in a bidding war at the time. I think we bought it for $425. But the funny thing is, my wife and I, we knew we couldn't afford it. So we knew right off the bat we had to put a basement apartment in just to be able to afford the mortgage payment.
And you had this idea to do the basement apartment because you were part of Rockstar at this time?
Yeah, so my mom had actually previously just became a member, and she was the one I think that put the bug in my head to do that.
Yeah.
And that was my wife's and myself's way of getting into the market when we really couldn't afford it at the time.
Yeah. So then, we already went through the full story, but then you've been able to keep buying. And like roughly how much were you putting into all these renos to make it a duplex? And then how much were you able to pull out to then buy the next one, roughly?
Each, I'm gonna say renovation was probably anywhere from starting off $100,000, probably now they're up to about $150,000 with inflation. But at the end of the day, the value is actually $100,000 higher than the purchase price plus the reno. So we're actually able to pull that out and then use that money towards the next project.
Yeah, got it. And then how much cash flow is left over after?
Still,
each of
even
these?
after pulling out all that, each house still has a little bit more than $1,000 a month in cash flow.
Wow.
So just right here is about $6,000 a month on this road.
That's after all expenses.
After everything, insurance,
tax.
property taxes, yeah, HELOC payments, mortgage payments, everything at least $1,000 on
So
each
all
house.
the financing, all
Everything,
HELOCs,
absolutely
everything.
everything.
So $1,000 for each one. This is the 7th one now.
Yep.
So you'll be sitting at about $7,000
Yep. A month soon.
in cash flow,
Yeah.
all from this one street.
Just on one street.
Yeah, it's super impressive, man. How old are you
Thanks.
again?
31.
31 now. So yeah, it's just learning like the process like this and thinking differently outside the box of what's possible to do. You know, you can really set up yourself financially for just an amazing future. And you have now a system that you can just repeat over and over.
I would just say, don't gamble. Focus on your area. Learn your numbers. Learn your neighborhood. There's opportunity there if you make it happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool, man. Awesome
Yeah.
stuff.
Cool. Thanks, man.